Siamo in diretta. Siamo in diretta. Siamo in diretta, uno streaming diverso, basato sul drifting, sull'LS swap, su ste cose, sui Nissan da 600 cavalli, tutte queste cose che piacciono, insomma, nella scena americana, insomma, ste macchine, ogni tanto c'ho pure ste macchine. Vediamo un po', facciamo questa sessione drifting su Assetto Corsa, però scegliamo la macchina. Oggi ho provato questa, non è male, Lexus GS300, la vediamo subito, vediamo un attimo, tanto c'erano tutte macchine a 500-600 cavalli, doppio turbo compressore, ho fatto tutte così, e sto sul server di Gopherchucks Fan. Questo è il server dove sto giocando, insomma, dove sto facendo sta sessione di drifting. E questa è la macchina, la Lexus GS300. Questo è il veicolo che ho utilizzato oggi, però ne prendo un'altra, allora Ford Mustang Boss, no, Ford Mustang Fox Body, che non è Boss, questa qua non è male, bella pure questa qua. Questa è estrema, questa è proprio una pazzia sta macchina, ma la S14 la neve, no dai, queste dopo sono allucinanti. Toyota GT86 V8, dai. Tanto la GT86 è nata per essere una macchina per essere modificata. Vediamo la Onevia. No, prendiamo la Onevia, sì, prendiamo la Onevia. Vediamo un po' allora. Però se c'è sta un'altra skin, ecco, vedi, ci sta tutte le cose, ci sta bella, ecco. Vediamo quale prendere. Ma un colore di questi qua, delle macchine a drift, tipo sti viola, sti colori verdi, sta roba qua, sti rossi, tutte ste scritte, sai, macchine a drift tutte così, no? È un verde qua, no, cioè tipo verdacqua, questo qua, no, sto verde scuro non mi piace, mi fa un po'. Questo qua pure, vediamo se ci stanno altri, così almeno cercherò di parlare anche in inglese, vediamo se ci stanno altri, così almeno cercherò di parlare anche in inglese, Allora, facciamo una cosa, intanto devo mettere un'impostazione al microfono, un filtro e soppressione del rumore, sì, meno 30 decibel, mettiamo meno 40 chiudi, ecco, almeno così si sente meno rumore di sottofondo. Detto questo, allora vediamo un po'. Però sì, prendo la Onevia, però non so quale colore. Ne so un viola forse? Sì, questo verde è quello della Nissan Silvia, quello tradizionale. No, facciamo un viola, ecco, un viola di questi qua strani, sti colori sgargianti. Ecco, sto rosa qua, ecco. Ho trovato il colore questo. Bene, Gopherchucks avviato al Assetto Corsa, allora sarà presente anche Gopherchucks, sarà presente. Vediamo un po', no, paint, che mi serve paint, dunque vediamo se è un po'. allora, intanto qua lo lasciamo così, lo lasciamo. Ecco qua, dunque, no, online, sul server di Gopherchucks, con la Nissan Nevia, manage skins, questa qua, io devo capire come cambiare la skin però della macchina, cioè devo capire che io voglio, priority 1, ok, questa voglio, io vedo questo colore. Oh. Non capisco come cambia colore la macchina. Perché non mi fa cambiare colore la macchina? Perché manage skins. Me la farà cambiare la skin, no? Ecco, questa è la macchina che utilizzerò. Ah, un LS. Giustamente. LS Swap the World. Giustamente, ecco. Come ci insegnano. Come ci insegnano LS Swap the World. Però, st'altro colore, ecco, sto viola. No. Sì. Ok. Allora, vediamo un po'. Molto bene, allora.
Hang on.
Okay, I can hear you. I think. Okay, hello, Gopherchucks.
So, man.
Ah, hello. Okay, good. Now I can hear you. That's good. Now I found the car. I found the car in the Nissan Nevia. The Nevia.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it looks quite extreme. I like it because of all this, also this intake that is going out of the engine bay. Yes, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I love that.
It's a cool thing. It's cool. I figured it's a LS swap, but it looks cool. Looks cool.
It is an LS swap. Yeah, it's an LS7 that they have in it, I think.
Ah, yes, LS7. Good.
Yeah, so it's a high cam version of it or whatever. That's why it sticks out of the hood so far.
Good. I don't know how to change the color because I found the purple skin, but the game doesn't allow me.
I don't think when we set up the server, we accidentally forgot to put in the options for the colors.
Okay.
So like you're kind of just stuck with those right now. Like I said, this is my first server, man. I just recently got it. I don't even know how to set the silly thing up right. So
okay. I will leave it white. No problem. So now I'm joining in the session.
Yeah, I'm about to join mine right now too.
Okay.
So it's like my Mustang I usually drive is normally white because I don't like the red, but I'm stuck with the red on the server because I forgot to fix it. So.
Okay. Well, in my opinion, the Mustang is a car that is good also in red.
Oh, you guys don't have Fox bodies over there, do you? They weren't really common to leave the States at all. So.
I had never seen a Fox body in my life. Mustang, it's pretty rare. I saw a Plymouth Prowler. I'm not kidding you. A Plymouth Prowler in my neighborhood.
I know. Oh, a Prowler? Wow.
Yes.
Jeez. I hardly see those.
Also, I'm not kidding you, a Buick Enclave. The full-size SUV. I don't know how, but I saw that. But I've never seen a Fox body Mustang.
Yeah, sorry, my sound might be a little loud for you.
But I wonder, how can someone buy a Buick Enclave in Italy? Because it's not a car for this continent. I mean, a Buick Enclave. I don't know if you ever heard about that car. It's
yeah, I don't see how you could really.
I don't know, but if the owner was right with it, what could...
1 second. I'm going to fix that sound real quick because it's not going like it's...
Okay. Don't know if you hear me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, so I find this Nissan quite user-friendly. I know it's got probably 600 horsepower, but I find it quite easy.
Yeah, it's actually really user-friendly. Just one thing you'll watch out for is it has one of the biggest angle kits on it that you can get on a car. So, like, when the car gets really far out sideways, you can recover it. Just don't oversteer, because like it will turn completely 90 degrees.
Okay, I understood. I'm going to approach with caution. I'm going to just take it easy. I'm not taking any risks, but I'm going to drift in situations that I can control 100%. So
well, that's why I always tell people this is where you learn is a roundabout, because you can actually learn control of the vehicle on a roundabout, different speeds, different gears.
Good. Yes,
you can practice being close to the inside, far to the out, And if you're bad at going left but good at going right, turn around and go the other way. Learn to go the other way.
Yes,
because like sometimes, like if people that live in a country with right-hand drive tend to be bad at left-hand drift, because they're having to look across the car throws off their.
Of course.
But yeah, the same way for people that have right-hand drive, or left-hand drive. So it took me a while to figure out the direction I'm going right now because like there's a whole car on that side of me that I can't see.
Yes, and I understood what you mean when you say it turns 90 degrees because it just happened to me right now.
Yeah, it does. Now this Mustang doesn't do that. It has a factory steering rack.
Okay.
Now, Mustangs are notoriously good for turning sharp, but it's nowhere near as sharp as that Nissan will. Okay, so... Which road? Did you go down one of the roads, or are you still up on the hill?
I'm still here in the roundabout because I'm just taking some more confidence with the vehicle because all the drifting that I've done, well, I'm not a pro drifter, but all the drifting that I've done it was with stock cars. So this is a car that is tuned for drifting, so it does it better because of the angle kit, of the camber, of all this.
Well, the other reason too that it doesn't you can crash the crap out of that thing. It's junk. That's the reason. It's meant to be beat on, So.
Yeah.
the reason I chose those cars was so you wouldn't have that feeling of like, I don't want to trash a Ferrari, you know.
Of course,
like,
you
don't look at it as it's a pile of junk. You don't want to slam it into a tree, you know.
So I don't know where I am in the map, but I just I went out of the roundabout, but I don't know where you are. I don't know.
I went back up to the roundabouts because I was looking for you.
Okay, good. Now I'm coming back to the roundabout as well.
All right, I'll just blow some tires up here.
Good. Okay, so. Okay, so yes, I'm back in the roundabout.
I see you.
Yes, I see you as well. Okay, so in third gear, I got no control rather than second gear.
For that car right there, this roundabout is a third or fourth gear.
Okay, fourth gear.
You can use fourth, but you have to feather it a little bit. You can't just stand on it.
Okay. Good. Okay, so first.
So you just kind of turn in and just follow the steering wheel.
Yes, okay. So I'm understanding the dynamic of this vehicle. It's much different than the Lexus GS. The Lexus GS was much more heavy.
Well, the Lexus is really like plush. It's slow to react to stuff. It doesn't.
Exactly.
That thing snaps fast.
Exactly.
So you have to be ready to catch it.
Exactly. The Lexus was probably it's a better beginner's car because it is more heavy, so it's much more predictable and much more forgiving. I believe about this car that I'm driving, the Nissan Nivea, that it's more unforgiving and you should approach with caution. Just like every difficult car to drive, you really start to appreciate it once you understand how to drive. Because it happened to me last time with the Ferrari F40. The Ferrari F40 in this game is one of the most difficult cars to drive. I started to appreciate after a few laps that I screwed up. So I hope I explained what I said. There are some details that require.
Like this turn right here is like hard handbrake and foot brake, and then on the throttle. It's like really stiff. This is a complete hook. So like all the way out. You have to be way out here.
Yes.
Now with this one coming up here, it's a swooper, so you can just kind of gently get on it and walk it all the way out to the edge. Same thing, get on the brakes again. I just bumped it, but yeah. Great. Here we go.
Okay, yes, because I'm trying to be as gentle as possible. I'm not doing anything crazy with the car. I'm just waiting the car to going sideways, then the steering wheel turns and I release the steering wheel and I can control the car when sliding. So I'm not doing...
Yeah, I don't let go of my wheel anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore because now I just try to keep control, I guess. I don't know. I understand letting go of the wheel, like I do, because it's one of the tactics I used to use. But now I actually drive the steering wheel back around because I'm trying to keep it from losing it, you know?
Yes, and I understand. For example, this corner right here, I had the wrong racing line and I ended up with the rear end of the car against the wall.
Well, there's really no line, I guess. It depends on the vehicle you're driving and its attribute.
Yes.
Because your car that you're driving is all foot torque right now. Like, there's no drag in it. There's no lag like a turbo car would have, where you'd have to wait for that top to end. Right? It's on all the time. So, like, when you in a turbo car, when you want to give it full throttle, in that car, you give it about a quarter.
Yes, of course.
And you'll find out that, like, lower wheel speed will give you a lot more control in a drift.
So I guess,
like,
tell me, sorry to interrupt you.
Like, on this turn up here, I'll get wide out, because I like to get close to the guardrails, so I'll push it out as far as I can. Oh shit, there we go, almost got it, there we go. This one coming down here at the bottom of the hill, I've never gotten right, I've always crashed, so I'm just going to take it easy.
Yes, of course.
I have never gotten that right, it's always been a crash there, so...
This one.
But you can see this corner, right? So we'll start on the outside edge, handbrake it in, foot brake it to point the way you want to go, gas pedal to drive it the rest of the way around. See?
Okay.
So use your foot brake to point the direction you want the car to go gently, right?
Yes.
So if you're not getting if it's starting to go too wide on you, use your foot brake to pull it back into the drift, and then use your hand brake to get the back end all the way around.
Okay.
So basically, I'll go in, foot brake a little here because I want it to get close to this corner, right?
Yes.
Foot brake there, gas pedal out. Now when we come down to this one, I'm going to handbrake in a straight line, turn the wheel in, then get on the throttle. I did it too slow there, but point is when your handbrake, be going straight, pull the handbrake, then turn the wheel. That's a mistake people always make. They'll turn the wheel and then handbrake. What'll happen there is you'll end up out of control.
Yes, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Because
so this is just like Sonopatsu there, where you just free motion back and forth. But so handbrake to get it out, throttle to keep it on, and I'm just feathering the gas all the way around, steer in.
Yes, it happened to me also the first time that I thought for drifting I was supposed to turn the wheel all the way. It's not so, because it's all where you have to play with the traction of the car, so you don't really need to turn the wheel, because when you
and not one car is the same. None of them drive the same. They may have similar chassis, but they will not. None of them will act the same. Oh, that's a wreck, almost.
For example, right now I'm going to do some handbrake. I didn't turn the wheel, but I managed to get the car a little bit sideways. So you have to be very gentle when drifting. I think, in my opinion, that drifting looks easy. Probably we think that drifting is easy, but drifting is not easy. I'm noticing.
So, one of the things that a lot of people, if you learn to drift without a handbrake, right?
Yes.
Because you can. It's actually quite easy to drift without a handbrake. In fact, most people do. Like in my case, I'm not using it. I'm just using the gas pedal. So gas pedal, like when I get it going.
Yes.
Down here, is this my favorite turn? Because if it is, I got to do it right. Hang on. All right. This isn't my favorite turn, but it's coming up to my favorite one. So let's see. This is one of my favorite turns on the whole track. So. It's one of the ones you could do in like fourth gear, full throttle.
I'm struggling a bit doing drifting this car because it's not easy as it seems. It's always a little bit complicated, and it's the first time.
Yeah, this one, right? I crash this one all the time. So let's see if I can get it right here.
Because there is a difference.
Oh, nope, I crashed it. Nope.
There is a difference between a car that is tuned for drifting and a normal car. If you learn to drift in a normal car, a factory stock car, and you get behind the wheel of a car that is strictly tuned for drifting, sorry.
It's alright, I just got to hit this corner correctly. That's if I don't.
You have to change a little bit your driving style. You have to actually you have to change your driving habits.
Yeah. Well, if I'm driving like the car that you're in, I'm not using even anywhere near the amount of throttle that I'm using than I am in this car. You know?
Yes.
This one might make a little bit more horsepower, but the way the power comes out of the engine is not the same. Like, it just doesn't have the same torque. What you have is a large engine, so it's got massive amounts of torque, you know?
Yes.
So, like, your style for you is throw it into there, balance your power out, right?
Yes.
Mine is, like, basically power in and then kind of throw it out. So, like, I have to get power to get it in there, which hurts me usually because it's not. I can't line it up right. My tires are about fucked. So like I need way more power to get my car to do what your car does quite easily. You know.
Yes, I understand. What I want to ask you is that this car is LS swapped. I believe that the LS swap is well appreciated also because, in my opinion, and I'm talking about the opinion of a person who lives in Italy, I think that LS swap is appreciated because it's a very good compromise in terms of performance, low end torque, and reliability, and the fact that it's very
lightweight too.
I believe that LS swap can make a good drift car because it's an engine that it's very usable and reacts very well as soon as you press the throttle. So also what you said before is that it doesn't have the turbo lag problem. So this is probably another reason that it's very appreciated and very used for even drifting.
The main reason that thing is appreciated, and that's here in the States, is because it's effing cheap. That's why. Like for me to put a K20 in my MR2, a Honda engine, I'm looking at about $5,000. But if I was going to LS swap it and figure out how to weld that crap in there, it would be like $800. You know what I mean? It's the point of like it's dirt cheap and it's easy to work on.
Yes,
and it's in like here in the States, that particular configuration of engine block is in like 16 different models of car. So it's really easy to find parts for it.
Of course.
It's like finding parts for a Civic in Japan.
Yes, of course it is. It's much easier. In Italy, it will be very expensive DLS because more than 250 horsepower and
that's factory.
$7 per gallon. $7 per gallon when paying for the fuel. $7 per gallon. Imagine it on a daily basis.
I did on my truck. I do. Well, it's $3 a gallon for me, but $3.50.
One thing is $3, another thing is $7, and 350 horsepower. It means about more than $1,000 per year. I think even $2,000.
Jesus, man, that's criminal. They shouldn't be able to do that.
Of course, I agree. I was reading somewhere in the forums of Porsche owners in Italy, a Porsche Cayman that's got about 280 horsepower, brake horsepower. They were supposed to pay about $1,000 of possession tax per year because 280 horsepower, because it's 30 horsepower more than 250. And yes, I mean 250 is really a threshold. Even a car with 260 horsepower is much more than a car than 250 horsepower, but it's just 10 horsepower more, so it shouldn't make a difference.
Right. It shouldn't.
Yeah, I know it sucks, right?
Like it's sad though, because like my friends that live in England right now are suffering because they can't even have a fucking car like a Skyline. They're not even legal anymore. You can't even register something like that anymore.
Seriously, I know that the Skyline is well appreciated in the UK because both right and drive. I know there's a lot of Skylines.
Well, it's just a Japanese, sports car. It's an awesome Japanese sports car, don't get me wrong. But the point being is, like, they've gotten to where they've made it, like, you can have one, but you gotta be rich because you can't afford the emissions taxes.
Okay, I understand.
You know, yeah, like they've made it to where to plate one of those things, it's going to cost more than the car's valued at, and they're valued pretty high. So
I understand what you say, and I think it sucks because when you buy a car like this, you're not gonna use it as a daily driver, so the emissions shouldn't really be a problem. You're not gonna use that car for work.
No.
That's plain stupid. I mean, also the very old car, you are collecting them. You're not really daily driving them, so you're not damaging the planet because I can have a very old Alfa Romeo GTA, the very old model, but I won't use it as a daily driver. I can use a Toyota Hybrid as a daily driver. The emission problem is just, in my opinion, a huge bullshit so that they can justify more taxes because these particular vehicles, old cars, are not used by the...
And what exactly do the people of your town get with those taxes?
I didn't understand the question.
What, like here, when the government takes a tax,
yes,
we want to know what it's for. Like, what are you using that money for? Is it for schools? Is it for roads? Is it for, traffic lights? Is it for police, fire departments? What's that money going for? Because if it's going for you to get another blowjob from some hooker, I ain't giving it to you. That's kind of the point. Like, what do the people of Italy get for their taxes?
Well,
is it roads, bridges, things like that? I mean, are they keeping them up? Are they doing their job?
I think they get the road, bridges, and also a good healthcare system. Our healthcare system is very good. At least one thing, many things are free in our healthcare system. But the problem is
I forgot you guys have some socialized stuff too. It's just a different system. I don't really know how it works that well.
Yes, but our country is deeply corrupt when talking about politics.
Ours too.
Yes, of course, pretty much everywhere. But
I think that's what politician means. Corrupt, sorry motherfucker is actually what it means. So
the problem is that the Italian society is a society where even if there is all this money and all these taxes you're supposed to pay, if you're a scammer and if you are if you are a person that is a good scammer, knows how to break the law and the methods, then you're always gonna get away with it. I hope you understand.
I'm gonna pull into this parking lot here on the left and let the tires cool off in a second because they're so hot right now. I can't keep grip on nothing.
I hope you understood what I mean. If you're a good scammer, you won't get scared of the taxes. You're always gonna get away with it because you pay a lot of taxes for vehicles. But if you are an Italian, entrepreneur, you got your own company, you wanna buy something good, an Audi RS5 or RS6. Then you're gonna, you're in the European Union, you give it a German license plate, and the state...
Can you guys get, like, fucking... do you get a discount for buying an Italian car?
I think so, but the Italian cars, you get another RS6 with Italian plate, and another RS6 with German plate. The Audi RS6 with German plate is a win-win because it gets much more cheaper in taxes and everything. And since it's the European Union, the car can stay in Italy because it's registered.
Nice. So you can register as a German vehicle rather than as an Italian vehicle.
Yes, and it's a loophole. The Italian state cannot tell you anything, that they can't do anything against you because you create a fake society and you assign this car for a fake society, and they think that the car belongs to this company, and they can't do pretty much anything. So in Italy, the scammer is the guy who wins.
Well, yeah, no kidding.
Not the good guy, not the honest person.
Jeez.
But if you're a scammer...
But, you know, I don't know, corruption is, like, worldwide, though. If there's a human involved, it's corrupt.
Yes,
so,
yes. Correct. But nevertheless, anyway, the taxes for the vehicle is... They are too high, and pretty much too high.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Anyway, yes, of course. And
like I said, I don't think it's fair that people have to put up with that shit. I don't understand. Like here, we would go flat out fucking nuts.
No way.
But we grew up just differently, though. You know what I mean? Like, as far as what we were taught to do for, like, the government's job is this and that, blah, blah, blah. That's what they teach us in school, you know?
Yes, I agree.
I think everybody's just, it's different, you know, for all of us. And we always look at the other side and think it's strange or weird or how you wouldn't tolerate it that way. But, you know, you might come here and then go to the doctor and be like, well, why do I have a bill for $6,000? You know? So, because we don't have that kind of medicine. So, you know. So if you're sick, you're in trouble, you know?
I understand. Yes, of course. The good thing about Italy is that even if you got a serious or chronic illness, you get a lot of medication for free. So that's a good point of our system, despite all the shit and all the corruptions, all the problems that we get.
That was just bad math in general.
But anyway, probably our state should be a little bit more loose about the car modification, because
oh yeah, that's fucking ridiculous what you guys are going through.
some brick mods in Italy are now legal, but since 2010, before 2010, brick mods were completely illegal. Now, after 2010, September 2010, some brick mods have become legal, so if you got the homologated part, you should be fine with it. It's a law. I'm not inventing anything and not saying anything false. It's actually the way the law is. But
I love this trip.
Before 2010, September 2010, I mean, it's a long way. September 2010. We've been waiting too much for only the brakes, some better brakes. So now in Italy, if I want to buy better brakes, I see the brakes that are homologated and it's fine with it.
That's just as crazy though, because like better brakes are better for everyone.
Yes, of course. But the day I will get a car, I would like to do some legal mods or allowed, but nothing extreme. At least.
See here though, you can have anything you want.
Yes, it's a good thing.
This is the Wild West to you, huh?
Yes, but it should be also positive for us, because it should go to the benefits of our economy. Because I know many people that will spend a lot of money in.
Well, that's just it, though. I mean, like, all those rich, snobby people, man, they would buy all this shit, and it'd be good for the economy for everyone.
Yeah.
You know.
In fact, the easiest thing that happens in Italy is that 90% of tuned cars in Italy are racers, because racers are not performance mods, so they are not illegal.
Yeah, they're just considered cosmetic stuff, right?
Yes, but I mean, all those crazy bumpers and all the stereo sound system with lights inside and all that.
Yeah, stuff that doesn't have any bearing on it.
Yeah, of course. That stuff that doesn't have any problems with the performance.
So my truck would be like really expensive because it's got 500 horsepower.
The truck will be on horsepower will be a serious problem, but you can always put a German plate in your truck and you could be fine with it.
Well, I mean, the only thing I did was buy a Banks kit for it. Like, they basically make stuff for pickup trucks, and you know. But yeah, all it was an exhaust intake and a chip. You know.
Yes, of course.
But my truck was already like 430 or 440 horsepower of stock.
Good.
So
good.
Straight to the port.
Well, the truck in Italy can be registered as working trucks, so they should be, let's say, related.
So they would say a twin turbo V6 2-wheel drive truck with racing stripes is a work truck.
Yes, of course. If you are
sure. Okay. Hey, I'm game. You know.
This
you can register my mom's Harley as fucking farm equipment. Why not?
Well,
you know?
It could be an explanation why the Dodge Ram is quite popular here, because
because you get a beefy ass engine and shit. That those trucks aren't slow. Those Rams, man, they ain't wimpy. You know.
I saw many Dodge Rams, so I think that the owners don't have problem, or maybe they are rich and they're spending all their money in the living. I don't know, but another thing is that I've never seen a Ford or Chevy truck. Yes, a Ford. I saw once Ford an expedition, maybe, or an excursion.
Oh yeah, that's basically an F-150 with a bigger cab on it. It's the same thing, same as an F-150.
I think a lot of years ago, probably an F-250 or F-350. A lot of years ago, anyway.
Like the Buick kind with the big wheels, dual wheels in the back.
It was like an F-150, but it looks too big to be an F-150.
Yeah, no, it's, 250s are just
yes,
class.
Probably
1-ton, 2-ton or whatever.
Never saw a Chevy truck. Never. But probably because the Ram has got the design. The Ram has got.
Well, and also in Europe, it wouldn't be Chevy; it'd be Vauxhall or fucking Holden.
Yes, it depends, because a Camaro is a Chevrolet everywhere.
Yeah.
A Camaro is Chevy everywhere. A Corvette is Chevrolet everywhere. I saw some Corvettes.
Yeah.
The ZR1, the Z06. I saw some cool Corvettes. Also some C4s, old Corvettes from the 80s. And but. For example, the Chevrolet Cruze. The Cruze was sold here, but the last generation wasn't. And I saw your last generation Cruze in the United States, and in my opinion, it looks a little bit poor. It looks like a Hyundai, the Hyundai accent, the Sonata. I don't know, one of those Hyundais that you got there.
Yeah.
I'm more a fan of the Cobalt. The Cobalt was cool, actually, the Cobalt. But the SS...
Oh, that's all Assetto, basically what it is.
The Cobalt SS was a good vehicle. I liked it.
They had a supercharged Ecotec in it, so I mean it was kind of quick, but it wasn't a cool car.
I mean, it was. I would do some modifications to the Cobalt, in my opinion, because a front-wheel drive car with supercharger, I think it needs some mods to.
Yeah, my Mini, my wife's Mini was front-wheel drive with a supercharger.
Yeah. I wouldn't be. I don't know, but when it comes to front-wheel drive, I always care about the handling and the suspensions, and also the differential, the tuning, because front-wheel drive. If you got a car with little horsepower, like a Fiat Punto. I don't know if you ever heard about the Fiat Punto.
Mm-hmm. I know what it is. We don't have them, but I know what it is.
I drove the Fiat Punto, and it's simply the easiest car to drive on earth. The most user-friendly car. You just drive it for 5 seconds, you feel like it's yours forever. And I really like the character of that car, even if it has a 70 horsepower, the diesel.
I had one in Need for Speed.
Yeah, it was the generation before. The one I drove, that's the Fiat Grande Punto. Unfortunately,
it was fucking fast too.
Yeah, I wanted to buy as the first.
They were the rally cars for a while, weren't they?
Yes.
Also, yeah.
I wanted to buy the Fiat Grande Punto as the first daily driver. There's a problem with the Fiat Grande Punto. the interior is shit. And I'm serious, the quality of the interior is very bad. Just like many American cars produced in the 90s.
I just need a rest. My eyes are killing. I'm in VR, so my eyes
okay, yes, of course. The Fiat Grande Punto's got this problem. Many interior parts were rubbish. The steering wheel with the leather in it that always got peeled off, and also the sun visor with the plastic attachment that cracked in and got broken, and many other parts, many buttons that lost their shine, and also the seriously cheap interior plastics. It got updated in 2008, and the materials were a little bit better, but that's some are good and some are not good. That is the problem with that car. The engine is very good. I know that.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the point though. Like some of the cars, like a Civic Si.
Yeah.
I mean, reality. The interior is not all that great. It's a Civic. It's not even like got good like body panels on it. It's a Civic, but it's got a kick-ass engine. So it's fun to drive, you know.
Yes. But the generation before of the Fiat Punto, the generation that was produced since 1999 to 2005, the Mark II, the second generation. I will send a picture on Discord later. It was a better generation. Okay, I'm sending a picture right now with the mobile phone so that you can understand. It was a better generation. It had better quality. I mean, the interior was always cheap, but it was not bad. It was cheap, but not bad. So that's what I liked about.
Is it the one that has the? It's the one with the sharp front end on it. I like that chassis that has that pointed front end. It almost looks like a 306 or whatever, but not a 306, a 206. Kind of reminds you of the 206, that really sharp pointed front end, you know.
Okay, so I'm sending the picture on Discord, and it's pretty much similar to this, the one that I drove. I don't know if you're watching the picture on Discord.
I see it. Yep.
But the bumpers were plastic. They were not painted, but they were plastic because it was the base model. But yes, I liked it. I really liked it. I appreciate it. And this one was much better than the Punto of in Need for Speed Most Wanted. Seriously, a much better car with much better materials. Still cheap, but much better. Another thing that I noticed is that, but this is a totally different category of vehicle. Probably I understood why the American loved the Honda Odyssey, and it's because the Honda Odyssey is a car with a lot of hacks. I mean, all those little things, little features that make the vehicle interesting. The last models also got a vacuum cleaner inside. They got a lot of solutions, compartment, and all these things that can make the vehicle more interesting.
More livable.
Yes, more livable, and for example, the American mothers with the little kids, and they make a mess. Everything. They
have 4 dogs.
Yes, of course. They will buy the dogs because it's got a vacuum inside, so it's got a lot of features. Also, yes, much better than the Ford Aerostar or Windstar because it was quite standard in terms of feature. Yes, I like to talk about.
This is uphill. Go full throttle, full steering lock.
Okay.
Full throttle, full steering lock.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Yes.
So So when you're going like this turn coming up right here is an uphill, right? So you're going to need as much power as you've got, and you're going to steer hard into it, right? And then when you get to the top, you'll let off, steer out, back on it again, because you're still going uphill.
Yeah.
Right? So keep your power on because you're going uphill.
Of course.
But once it levels off, you're going to have to go back to balancing again. But that's where that car shines, is going uphill. Because it don't struggle putting power down going uphill. This one does.
This car has got a lot of power.
Well, it has like almost 700 foot-pounds of torque.
okay, so it's even in second gear it still slides.
Whoa! Oh, dude, you second. Put it in first gear. Oh, here, line up right next to me and just put it in third gear.
Okay.
Straight in third gear, and then mash it straight at this corner. Right, just stay flat on the throttle.
Yes.
Just like mine. I'm on third gear. I haven't let off.
Okay.
It should be able to break into a drift on its own.
They should make some drift track in Italy because there is 0 of them.
They have a drift track.
I think
there's one called Assetto Corsa comes with one called Drift. Actually, it should be.
Yes, but it's a fictional track. It's not a real track.
Oh, you mean like Driftland in the UK?
Okay, and
that's one place.
Yes, I don't know about the UK, but if you tell me that there are some drift tracks in the UK, I believe you. But the problem is
it's one called Driftland in the UK. I've got Orlando Speed World here.
Okay, cool. I think the USA has got a lot of drift tracks, local tracks, minor tracks where you can go drifting. Even Chris Fix has a local drift tracks. As a local drift track, he took the drift stand in that circuit where he actually learned to drift in his local drift track.
Am I over? Nope, not over.
Yes, this roundabout is cool to learn how the vehicle responds to the.
Well, if you play games like Dirt Rally and shit, learning how to do this fluidly, like drifting fluidly, like you can just drift anything.
Yes.
When you get into a rally course, you're going to see it in a whole different light.
Oh, okay.
Because in rally, you notice how, like, you watch some of those guys, man, and they are fucking all-stars. They come at these turns that are maybe a quarter mile or half a kilometer, bend, and it's one lane, it's dirt and gravel, and they start their drift, like, way early, and, I mean, they literally are boomeranging through a corner. I mean, it is amazing for me to see that. And I mean, there are trees on both sides and like death everywhere. And they're doing like 100 miles an hour sideways.
Of course. Yes, I mean, rally is a very difficult discipline, in my opinion. I mean, now I'm going to explain this. Rally is much more difficult than Formula 1. I mean, of course, Formula 1 is really stressing because of the high speeds, the G-force and everything, but in Formula 1 it's the stress of keeping the race it's the endurance of
it's
the endurance, yes, of course. The endurance. Now the cars are relatively more safe because before the cars were really a pain in the ass. Before, in the 80s and the 90s, the cars were much more difficult and they had way more than 1,000 horsepower also. But right now it's still of course the endurance and also the man is the endurance. But the difference is that rally, you need to have a better reflex and it always gets unpredictable. You never know what is going to happen in rally, so you have to be much more focused rather than the endurance. It's not the endurance rally, but it's actually to drive in such narrow spaces. That's what scares me of rally. I hope I explained this clear.
No, I understand what you mean. It's terrifying to me to go flying down those roads knowing the trees and shit are on both sides.
Yeah, of course. And
trying to get on your door.
Another thing about rally is that, and one thing that only rally.
Almost got it. You can hold it. I'll have it.
okay. I'm just trying to. Another thing.
No, it's all right. I was just trying to tandem your door.
Another thing that rally really makes rally very difficult is that you get to drive in very opposite conditions, because you're driving in the desert, you're driving in the snow,
gravel, tarmac, fucking mud, ice, fucking you name it. Whatever the world has to throw at you.
Of course, and you get all the. Okay, good.
I bet that felt cool. I'm still watching it happen. I think it actually restarted you, didn't it?
Yeah, of course. I restarted.
I think if you flip enough, it'll actually just restart you.
Yeah. You get when it comes to rally, you get all the different conditions, and so it's you also have to drive the car differently, because the car is going to respond in a different manners, even in a different temperature. No matter how much you're going to keep your engine warm, but if the environment is cold and the environment is hot, the car is going to behave differently. So that's one thing of rally that really scares me.
Man, that thing is fast. About 13.
Another thing that I'm noticing about drifting is that you must be very careful with your throttle and the clutch and the movements. I don't know if you remember about the video game Need for Speed Carbon.
Yep.
Well, drifting in Need for Speed Carbon was really easy. You just turned the car with the joystick, and you were supposed to turn right or left, the car was drifting. In reality, it's totally different.
Well, it was animated and it was basically done for you.
Yeah, of course. It was a cool game.
I can assure you, if you're drifting in this game is not doing anything for you. It's all you.
Yes, true. That's what I appreciate. So what I'm noticing about drifting is that you have to be very careful. The first time I thought that I was supposed to go full throttle everywhere because it was drifting. No, it's not like this. You must be very careful. You have to know how much torque you have to release to the car, how much you have to need with your throttle. So, for example, all these mistakes that I'm always doing is because I am not...
So, yeah, always start your drifts way out here on the outside, because the farther out you are, the more time and more practice you get to work with, right?
Yeah.
So, like, when we're out here, way out here, so I'm trying to get my groove in. Got to get the right speed and stuff set up. There we go. So we're going to work this third lane out here.
Okay.
So no matter what, when you're driving all the way around, I want you to keep the back tires in this third lane.
Okay.
Right?
In the third lane.
All the way around. So basically the back tires need to be in this third lane.
Yeah.
You know? I don't care if your front tires are in this first one or sharing the third one, but just try to keep your tires in that third lane. That's basically your goal.
Okay.
So you can change your angle to adjust your speed. You can throttle harder. You can steer out. You can go up a gear, down a gear. Whatever you got to do, but just keep your tires out here on this outer line, all the way around.
Okay, good.
So like basically that's what practicing does. Like if you can master keeping it out here,
yes,
like way out here, you know. So I mean at this speed right now, I'm basically drifting. Oops, I just hit it. Yeah, basically drifting at about 70 miles an hour somewhere, 60 miles an hour. I don't know what the kilometers. It's like 120, 130 maybe.
Okay. What do you say? I know very well the miles per hour, kilometers per hour. I can translate. 70 is about 110. 70.
110. Okay.
About, yes. Probably 150.
So that right now I'm doing 52. 52 is giving me a good speed around here.
You're doing miles per hour. 52.
Yep, miles per hour, 52, yeah.
Yeah, you're about my speed. I'm 82 kilometers an hour, and 52 is about 70.
Good. So basically, you're balancing the throttle and the steering to keep your tires way out here on the ass end, right?
Yeah, we're going about the same speed because I'm going to 52 because I'm 82 kilometers an hour.
We can switch now and go all the way up here. Let's see how close we can get our bumper to this curb here without touching it.
Yeah, because
so that's going to be tougher, but we can do it. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm on it. Fell off. Almost got it. Hang on. Let me tighten that up a bit. You can left foot brake if you want to get that thing to stay a little closer too. Also.
Yeah. Okay.
So while you're full throttle using your power, if you can use the left foot brake at the same time to curve yourself more into your drift, you know?
Yes. Okay.
That works at any speed too. It doesn't matter. If you need more angle, you can either use the handbrake or you can left foot brake it in.
Okay. Yes, I'm getting
the handbrake is sloppy.
Yeah.
The left foot brake, on the other hand, gives you more control, so you can like literally get on a wall, or you can get on get on somebody else's car. That's really what the goal is for us to be able to do it side by side, you know, without even a hit between us, you know.
I've understood something about the handbrake. You must be very careful when you use it and how to, because you don't. The first time that you tried to drift, I thought that I should have been aggressive with everything, with the steering wheel, with the handbrake, because that's
right.
That's what I was doing in the arcade games. In the arcade
this
games,
isn't an arcade game.
Of course. I'm talking about my transition from arcade games to simulation. So I was figuring out, was trying to imagine how I was supposed to do it, and the handbrake. Now that I built that handbrake, before I was using the button. The button.
Yeah, the button. The button works, but you can't really apply pressure.
Yeah, of course. In fact, it is.
With your handbrake, you can use a tiny little bit or a whole lot. You know.
Yes, of course. In fact, this handbrake really changed everything. The first time that I used the Nissan S13 in the circuit of Vallelunga.
That's what you're driving now.
Drifting. I actually felt. I felt the difference between button drifting and handbrake drifting. I really felt the difference. So the handbrake, I understood that you have to use a little bit of it. You have to you don't have to use much of it. You have to be gentle when using the handbrake, and you have to know when and how and when to release it.
Well, sometimes you're going to find that you don't. Like if you do like Highlands Drift or the other one, is it Black Cat County?
Yes,
that's a good one. If you do like the Black Cat County short track, that's a really good drift track actually. I fell off the map. I should reset soon.
I thought you found a shortcut, an alternative way. I was about to follow you.
There we go.
But you know, for example, in front-wheel drive car, you can be a little bit more aggressive with the handbrake. I'm not saying that you can drift with front-wheel drive cars, but you can have some fun.
You can power slide with them.
Yes, you can do a lot of power slide because of the weight transfer and some
bullshit.
And
if it's wet out and you play enough with the gas pedal and the handbrake, you certainly can keep the back end out and still pull a corner.
Yeah. For example, in front-wheel drive cars, I understood how to make some power slides and weight transfer, but sorry, it's a little bit frustrating. I don't know how to explain it. It feels weird to do that.
Well, you're dragging instead of sliding.
Yeah, of course.
It's like dragging a sack of potatoes behind you, you know.
Yes, that's the point. And since they are front-wheel drive, they come back in the straight direction, not in a weird way. I mean, when you're drifting, the change of direction are smooth. They are smooth because rear-wheel drive. So you don't feel the car that changes direction like. I'm going to show you. Please, if I can stay in front of you, I want to show you what I mean. If you can follow me.
I wonder which way you went.
I wanted to show you what I mean with my car. But please, if you could follow me, so you can see my car in front of you. So now you're behind me, right? So what I mean is that with the front-wheel drive, you got this moment. So you see, this moment...
Yeah, the snapback.
Yes, it happens too suddenly with a front-wheel drive car, so you... And also with mid-engine car, even if they are rear-wheel drive. But
yeah, they call it snap oversteer.
Yeah, the snap oversteer, and it's quite, in my opinion, very scary, frustrating. You get the car that does this, and then it goes like... You know what I mean. That's a problem that happens.
Well, it's like starting a drift and letting off of it. Usually ends up in a snap oversteer.
Yeah, and...
so like you start a drift and you're like, no, I don't want to drift anymore. Oh, there we go. Now we're going the other way, see?
Yeah.
That was a snap oversteer right there in a Mustang. It was deadly.
the snap oversteer in front-wheel drive car in Assetto Corsa gave me quite a hard time, but it's something that always happens, and you just
they really didn't make this game for a controller, man.
No, I never played this game with a controller. Of course, yes, the snap oversteer, of course it happened with front-wheel drive car because they got the differential in the front, so it's normal that happens. So that's the thing that makes it weird, the snap oversteer. And when drifting, let's say more power sliding, a front-wheel drive car, you have to put the vehicle in a path that the snap oversteer will not get you in trouble.
Be in your favor.
What?
Be in your favor, so that when you come out of your snap, it's pointing you in the direction you want to go.
Yes, yes, you got the point. You have to make sure the snap oversteer goes in your favor. So you have to kind of understand, figure out where the vehicle is should go on, should be going. But this happened only after a little bit of experience. When you start to figure out, then you're going to have some fun with it. I've done a video with a Peugeot 308 in the drift circuit in Assetto Corsa. You can see it in my channel. I've done a video. So I've also done some front-wheel drive weight transfer, some front wheel drive and power slide. You can see some snap oversteer, but in my favor. Yeah. But with the rear-wheel drive, you get the fun of. You know what's the difference? With a rear-wheel drive car, you have the fun of adjusting your angle. So that's the fun with the rear-wheel drive car. You are in total control of it. That's what makes it awesome.
What time is it? Let's see. Oh yeah, I gotta get ready to make dinner for the wife. I do the cooking since I'm the one who works at home, so I'm gonna make some dinner for my wife, and I will be back on later.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if I'm back later because it's late here.
No, that's okay. I'm just letting you know. Like usually about this time I have to make dinner, so. Yeah. But I will be back on later if you want to chat or something like that. That's cool.
Yeah, of course. So yes, if you have to go, well, thank you for
hey man,
this.
Glad to drive with you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it seriously. Well, we'll see next time. So
yep.
Thank you for drifting with me.
I'll try to get up a little earlier, and we'll go do some other driving somewhere else.
Because right now in Italy it's about 11 p.m. 27. But I start at 10 p.m. If we start before, like, I don't know, 8 p.m. here.
Right.
I don't know what's your time right now in Florida.
5:27.
Yeah, 5:27. So, 5:27 is about when we started. It was 4:27 because I started at 10 p.m. 1 hour before is like 3:27.
You're 6 hours ahead of us.
Okay, yeah, 6 hours.
You're basically the same as England. My buddy in England, he's 6 hours. 5 or 6.
Not really.
5 or 6.
Not really, because England has the 0 time. We got the +1 time.
Right, but like he's 5 hours and you're 6, so you're not far off. So.
Yes, much more closer, of course. I'm going to try other cars anyway from this server. I'm going to try the Mustang. This Nissan.
This is my baby. I love this car.
This Nissan is much better than the Ford Mustang, than the Toyota. Sorry, the Lexus.
The other Nissan has a RB26 in it, so it's got turbo, so you'll have to work with turbo lag, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Which is no big deal if you know how, because it sounds good when you get that thing running hard, like wound up. RB26 sounds awesome, but but this Mustang is it's a 500 and I think it's 500 horse, but it's a Coyote Ford 5.0.
Yeah, Coyote, yes. Yes, I got my Italian way of pronouncing the vehicles and things. I don't say Coyote, I say Coyote. Yes, the V8 engine, yes, of course, But
yeah, no, it's a Ford. It's a 5-liter Ford engine that's race tuned. So.
Yes, I like the Coyote. It's a good engine. I like it. And okay, so I'm going to test the other vehicles and see how they behave. The turbo lag, you know, the Porsche 930, it was a serious problem because of turbo lag. So next time I'm going to test the other car and see how to deal with the turbo lag. So now I disconnected from the server as well.
I disconnected. So you're.
So now, yes.
Yeah, I'll hang up here so you don't have to worry about it. It'll close this call out. You won't have to worry about going after it yourself. So.
Yeah, okay, so thank you for this drifting experience, and see you next time, Gopher. It's nice.
Hey, anytime, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So, see you next time. Bye.
All right, man. Later.